Welcome to another episode of Med Specialized podcast of Sueldos and Suarez. Today's episode is kind of bittersweet. Sadly, this will be our last episode of this season.
We will still be back. Yes.
We'll still have a lot of things to look forward to.
Don't leave us.
Yes, definitely not. But yeah, we haven't even named our special segment yet.
Of fishbowl bowl questions.
Right. But again, don't worry, you guys, because we will be back and we will be ending the season with a bang. Our two guests here will be sharing their tips and insights on how they cope with their work routine.
Right. So joining us tonight on our last episode, again, for now, are two distinguished med species.
Yes.
First, we have Sam. He is a software support consultant under Meditab, and he's been with the company since December 2014. So if you do the math, like what I did, impressive math, like just right now, mental math, that's around 8 years. So that's very impressive. So what about our second guest, Pao?
Yeah, our second guest is Ryan. In contrast to Sam, he's relatively new to Med Specialized. He's a marketing manager for ER Tech Pros, and he joined the company in October 2020.
Right. So we're joined by two very wonderful people tonight.
Yes.
Before we start with the topic of, work routine and sometimes it can get a bit dull and stuff like that, we want to get to know our guests better. As usual, we want to dig deep into how they started with Med Specialized.
Exactly.
So, Sam, could you tell us about your journey with Med Specialized?
Thank you guys for having me. And again, I'm in a company of most wonderful people as well.
Oh,
So,
thank you.
Thank you. Good evening.
Ryan, we're wonderful.
Absolutely. All right. So I started with the Med Specialized, in December 2014. However, the story goes a bit further than that, or beyond that. So actually, I joined Meditab in 2010, and I joined it in India. That's the line of business that I'm currently working on. And I'm actually one of the foreign employees here in the Med Specialized, and so first time I came to the Philippines in 2012, and then it was a brief trip of 2.5 months, but then again I felt like there's a need for me to come back, as as if it's something is calling, or maybe a part of me belongs here, right? Something like that. So that kind of pulled me here. So in mid 2013 I came here, and then my work visa was approved in December 2014. So that's where my employment history is 8 years, but I'm with the line of business of Meditab for almost more than 12 years now. Thank you.
Right. Okay. What about you, Rai? How did you get started with Med Specialized?
So in 2020, most everyone was in quarantine.
Yep.
It was, I think, still at the height of the pandemic. And I worked for a video marketing company in the US. I mean, based in the US. I was working from home. I've been working from home actually for 11 years. And that company kind of suffered or got really affected by the pandemic, in that most of our clients were fitness gyms, climbing gyms, surfing schools.
So it all shut down.
Yeah, they needed face-to-face. So
Right.
So I was asked to cut down on my hours because he can't pay me in full anymore. So it just so happened that I got a message on LinkedIn from Janine from Meditab. And because Shamir was asking her to look for a marketing manager for a new IT company that was thriving. It was just new within the Meditab's sister companies.
Yeah.
So I got the job after the interview, and then I quit the kind of part-time job that I was working. There I learned how to market because ER Tech Pros is a managed IT service provider. So I got to market an IT company that provides cloud services, even HIPAA compliance for medical practices, and phone. That's it. And cybersecurity.
Was that a bit... Oh,
Sorry, go ahead, Liz.
Was that a bit challenging? Because it sounds like what you did before that, or what you did before what you're doing now, it's a different type
space,
of it's a different space, it's a different product
Yeah, it's a bit challenging, but I'm used to it since my background is really in advertising. So I'm used to different types of clients.
Right.
So I've handled politicians, I've handled bake shops, I've handled chips like corn chips. I've handled business consultancies. So B2B, B2C. So it's something you need to adapt. When you get into that role, you just need to do research and learn as much as you can to market.
How was the transition? Because I would say, since you are now in the IT space, IT is very technical, right? It's like very niched. How was that transition like? And also, you mentioned earlier that you've been working from home for like 11 years before work from home
Was even a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Like, and how did that sort of materialize?
Transitioning to IT wasn't that hard for me because my background is really in IT. It just so happened that I didn't pursue it and pursued marketing and advertising instead.
Oh, so was your college course an
Computer
IT?
science.
Oh, okay.
So I know how to code. so
Okay, okay.
So that explains it.
All right, all right, yeah.
yeah, so it wasn't that different from what I was exposed to before. And the only adjustment that I had to make was after 11 years of working from home and now we were asked to return to the office.
Yeah.
Was how expensive IT Park is.
What do you
bet.
mean by that?
I mean,
I think a lot of people can relate.
yeah, IT Park is a bit expensive.
yeah.
Okay. But like when you were asked to return to office, were you a bit hesitant? Especially that you've been working at the comfort of your home without having to spend for transportation and food and stuff like that. What was your thought process like when you were asked to return to office?
I was actually excited. 'Cause first, when I got this job, Janine was pretty clear, and even I think Venice, her name was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They were pretty clear in that once the pandemic ends or once it's manageable, we will be asked to return to office. So it's something that I expected to happen already.
Okay.
So I wasn't surprised, and I was hoping to develop a routine that because when you're working from home, you don't really, it's erratic. Like you get, especially with a
I get
flexible
that.
schedule,
Right.
you
Yes.
get to rest as long as you want.
Yeah.
But if you're outside your home, you can't really spend that much time having
Breaks.
long breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was hoping I could develop a routine in that I'd go to the gym and then work and then go back home, rest,
Yeah.
and then wake up, gym again, and then by the end of the year, I'll have this amazing bod. No, that didn't happen. Because I was
It's okay.
still
New Year's coming. We got time. It's so interesting because I know some people who got into the work from home type of setup because of the pandemic, and they really like it so much that they don't want to go back to working in the office.
I know quite
So
a bit of
that's
people,
yeah. I think even for us, like there is some like hesitation with, especially when you're dealing with traffic, with the cost of you getting to the office. So that's a very interesting perspective, and maybe it comes with like you've been working from home for so long that this is kind of something new and exciting. Like I will finally understand like what it's like to like report in the office. Or have you worked in an office before?
Yeah, I worked in an office before.
I see.
So
Okay.
I've experienced both. But after working from home for like 11 years, I wanted a change as well.
I see.
Okay. I would just like to pick up on what you said about actually being excited on returning to office because you felt like it would help you build a routine. Do you feel the same way, Sam? Do you feel like if you get stuck working from home that you wouldn't be able to follow a routine that would help you be productive?
Now there's an interesting story to that question.
Do tell.
Actually,
I love Sam's stories.
Yeah.
when everyone was at the comfort of their own home during the lockdown, we were in office. We stayed in office.
You guys
yes,
stayed in the
yes.
office. For how long was that? You guys were housed here for quite a while.
More
You were
than
basically
a year.
living here, right?
Yes,
In
more
the
than a
office.
year.
More than a year
Yeah.
living in the office?
How was that like?
So, I mean, like, of course, it's not as same as at home. Like,
Yeah.
no matter how you say that, feel home or something. So it's different when your options of your own privacy are limited and stuff.
Right.
But the transition from work from office versus work from home wasn't bit of a change for me, because during the lockdown in 2020, to be exact, end of March 2020 till April of 2021, we were working in office, or
Yeah.
staying and working in office, right? And then in 2021, I had to go to India, and then over there, because of the travel ban, I was
Oh, you got stuck in
Yeah.
India. I remember Kim telling me about this. For context, Kim is my manager. So, yeah, I remember she
Shout
told
out
me.
to Kim.
Yeah.
So that trip was meant to be for 2 months, but it lasted 7 months. So yeah, at that time I had my first experience working from home, and then when I came back, it was again work from home versus it was in transition, like sometimes work from home, sometimes work from office. So it was, I think that working, I mean, this is just my personal opinion, working from home will give you, yes, of course, more comfort and stuff, but I think, as what Ryan mentioned, that working in office will actually give you more of a routine, that okay, you're supposed to wake up at this specific hour, you do your morning routine or like evening routine if you're working in night shift, or like pre-office routine, then you get rest, and then you commute, and then you start work, and that same goes the cycle the other way around, when you go out, you take breaks, or those kind of stuff. So actually it gives more of a like a social edge,
Yeah,
compared to when
definitely.
you're just in your own cocoon of your own
Yeah.
home or something. So I think of course social involvement, like meeting people in person, looking at their expressions, having a bit of a touch, that actually gives you a more positive vibes, I think, energetically, rather than you just sitting on home and chatting with people who are just like who you don't see every day,
Right.
You're right.
or sometimes if you have not seen them in person ever, because if people who were hired during the pandemic, you didn't actually meet them. So I would have mixed feelings in both the type of setups, like work from home and work from office. It has its own pros and cons. So I would,
Definitely.
might sound diplomatic over here, but yeah, each one has its own pros and cons.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, to everything, there's always a pro and a con. But I like what you said about it. When you're reporting to the office, there's more of a social interaction. And I think creativity flows better as well when you're seeing the people that you're working with. You can bounce off ideas easier. And I think that's one of the reasons why this podcast was even materialized, because we were just, I think Rexa just came up to me one day. I was like, hey, do you want to do this project with us? I'm like, yeah, sure. And sometimes you think it's just going to be like drawing, it's just going to be a plan, and then it's become so much more than what we had initially planned. And I'm looking forward to doing more episodes. But I'm curious to know, Ryan, like as a marketing manager, because again, you mentioned a while ago that you've been so used to dealing with wearing different hats and managing different types of products or companies. Can you tell us what your day looks like as a marketing manager for ER Tech?
So first, I have this system in which I check my emails and I take note on what I need to do for the day, and then that's it. I go through our task. We use ClickUp for task management,
Okay.
and I do a follow up with my team. But right now, since I lost quite a number in my team, so I'm hands on.
Okay.
So even now, I'll be writing something and also doing the graphic design for something.
So you're handling a lot of tasks right now.
Yeah.
Okay, how do you prioritize your tasks? I don't mean to sound to be like I'm in an interview, but right now I'm currently like, I'm not swamped with work, but I am handling a lot of tasks as well. And sometimes it gets hard to like prioritize, like, okay, I know all of these things are important.
Yeah.
So how do I know which one to tackle first? And some projects are bigger than other ones. It takes longer to complete. So for you, how do you deal with that?
ideally from most urgent to less urgent, but sometimes I get to pick the ones that I like more.
Okay.
That I find more
Yeah,
exciting to do.
I find that, you know,
Yeah.
it's easier to do the things that you're excited
Excited
about.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah, because as long as that's ticked off the list, then I can move on to the other things. So actually, the more exciting ones that it's the more exciting ones that I do first.
It's funny because I actually have the completely opposite approach.
So you do the boring tasks.
I
first.
do the boring task first, or at least the task that I
Don't enjoy
least-
the most.
yeah, I don't enjoy the most, just so because so that I have all the energy I have to tackle the things that I don't enjoy doing at all.
Yeah.
And at least if I get drained by the end of the day, I still get to enjoy the thing that the tasks that are left on the
Yeah, you're still
pipeline.
excited about the
Yes.
thing that you're supposed to
So
do.
that
I'm the
helps.
same way,
That
yeah.
helps.
Because at the start of the day, it's like, okay, let's just get this over with.
Yes, let's get this out of the way.
Yeah, like I have my 100% energy in
yeah.
the morning. Let's finish this. And then in the afternoon, I'll do that. Like by that time, I'm going to be drained.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to be excited about how like I'm going to be doing these tasks. But you know, it's not always that easy.
Easy.
It's easier said than done. Sometimes
definitely.
like by afternoon you're like, I'm out. I have nothing else to
left.
give. Yeah.
Right.
Even though this project excites me and I really want to do good, sometimes you're completing it just for compliance. So how do you guys deal with those challenges where at some point you do feel like you're running out of energy to complete those tasks? Like for you, Sam.
I mean, we have to. I think for me, we have to accept if it's a bad day, then it's a bad day, right?
Oh.
You know,
I need
because
to tell myself that every day.
I mean, like, there's this one line which I picked up from this people in this office is like, it's a bad day, not a bad life, right?
Yeah.
So it could be like that, but I think that, it all goes down how you start your day, right? I mean, this is what I have really, proven and tested. Why? Like, let's say if you wake up, so I work night shift, right? So if there are days when I wake up and if I checked my emails first thing that I do, and if there is some not so pleasant email from some client or
Yes.
our overseas and counterparts or something, it sets the rhythm for that specific day. Like no matter after that, one thing after other,
Yeah.
of the routine,
It just snowballs.
it just
Yeah.
doesn't go
It
well.
ruins, like, no matter what good email you get or what good news, it's just like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, my day is ruined already.
Right. So I think when it comes to difficult days, we have to, because see, if I am very honest, like when we interview people, we ask them that how do you cope up with the stress or something, and they say, I take deep breaths, I drink water, I take small coffee breaks. But
Very cliche.
I mean, for me, if we really have to be honest with ourselves, that might help to some extent. But
Yes.
if a trigger switch has been, picked up, where some client or some team member or some other team member or the meeting
Yeah.
didn't go well, I think we just have to suck it up, on that specific, moment.
So what do you suggest then? Like, if you feel like it all boils down to how you start your day, so what do you suggest people do? Like, not check emails first thing in the morning, or
Correct. Like not only emails, but my personal suggestion is that for at least, if you cannot have like a 1 hour, but then when you wake up, do not touch your phone for at least first 30 minutes.
oh, okay,
I mean, because see, this might sound very technical in psychological terms, but when we wake up, so can I go a little bit technical on this one?
Sure, go ahead.
Psychologically,
Yes.
because here's the, there are like 3 or 4 states of, our mind or, brain, like, beta, alpha, gamma, theta, and delta, right? So beta
Yeah.
is our awakened state. When we wake up first thing, or when we are about to go sleep, our mind drifts in alpha, where our conscious mind is less active and subconscious. Now 95% of who we are depends on our subconscious mind, right?
Yeah.
So as soon as we wake up, and if we see bad news or not so good news, there are trigger points. We actually automatically goes, our body and mind automatically goes in flight or fight mode, right? That flight mode is how do I run away from this,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
fight mode, like how I fight this, right? And then our day, something. So I think it's more important that we spend more time with ourselves, like small things. When we wake up, I mean, if you are not very spiritually inclined,
Yeah.
if you don't like to meditate or something, but like let's say if you're spending like like brushing your teeth, or taking a bath, or you are washing your face, or if you're a guy, like you are shaving, then just pay full attention to that specific moment. If you're a morning person, then just open your window shades, or like go out. If you are as fitness inclined like Ryan, then you can
We'll get there,
go
yes.
go for a run or a
Right.
gym. But yeah, I think morning, or like the routine, the time
Yeah.
of first 30 minutes that you wake up, I think that it's better to not touch your
Touch your
phone, not even social media
Right.
or something, because you don't know what might trigger you. Once you are thinking that okay, you're ready for the day, then only you can
Yeah.
you should touch your phone.
Can I just add actually to that, because I would just like to share something, because I recently listened to a podcast that actually touches really closely on what you said about enjoying your alone time. This she was a guest there at the podcast. I forgot the name of the podcast. I'm so sorry, but
By any chance, is it the Diary of a CEO?
no,
Okay.
no.
Okay. Because I will also
I don't
add.
think it is. I don't think it is. But I feel like I can look it up in my search history later. But yeah, the guest was a lifestyle journalist, and she came up with the word alonement. It means just basically enjoying your
own company.
Your own company. Like regardless if it's just a minute of just staring at the mirror or doing nothing at all, just enjoying your alone time and not being guilty of like
Yeah,
Right?
like you're
'Cause-
always having something to do.
Yeah, 'cause
like
a lot
if
of-
I don't do anything, I'm not being productive. I'm wasting
Yes,
time.
Exactly. And a lot of people feel that pressure, like, I haven't done anything at all in like for the past 30 minutes, and now they feel guilty, and now their day is ruined.
Yeah, and sometimes that's why people don't take breaks.
Yeah.
Because they feel like breaks are a waste of time. But then, if you take like for every hour you take like 5 to 10 minute breaks, your creativity flows better, you're more productive. And also with like social media, checking your phone when you wake up, I think
I'm guilty of that.
yeah, I've also like I'm trying to
not even
unlearn
gonna
it because
lie.
I think it was very common like during the lockdown. Like, what
Especially.
else did you have to
Yeah.
communicate with the people outside of your home? You would instantly check your phone. But again, I thought we were listening to the same podcast, but I was listening to the Diary of a CEO. You should definitely check them out. But they also had a guest who said, create before you consume, because
Ooh.
sometimes if you're like always checking on what other people are doing, you're kind of more focused on like how do I become them or how do I beat them, rather than how can I actually create something that I would enjoy or that what I want to do. And I think I want to know on Ryan's point of view, because I know in marketing you have to stay on trend. You have to like keep up with what's happening on
Exactly.
social media, on the internet. So how do you manage your screen time and your like your me time away from all of the hustle and bustle of social media?
I'm actually always on. But
But how do you stay like? How do you maintain a healthy relationship with the internet in general?
I'm not really obsessed with social media though. So when I'm using my phone, I'm not on social media all the time. So yeah, I guess Reddit is kind of social media. So I really
Oh, you're
Kind of is, yeah.
But Mobile Legends, playing a
Yeah.
game like mindless game helps. So and I do a lot of activities that don't really require phones. Like when I'm with my friends, we're not really busy with our phones.
Oh, that's
Oh,
great.
that's
Yeah.
great. That's
Oh,
great.
I hate that though when you're hanging out with people and everyone is just sitting there in
God.
silence and all
Yeah.
your friends. So why did we even go out?
But as much as I hate that,
Is that you?
not me, but like our circle, and
Mm-hmm.
it sucks because as much as I hate it, we're all guilty of it. Like
At some point.
in the like dinner or get together, people would pick up their phones, and it just sucks. I hope that we can break out of that habit. But I would just like to ask Ryan though, because I'm also kind of in the creative space as well as a copywriter, and one of the, I guess, the biggest challenges of a creative, and I feel like I'm speaking on behalf of all creatives here, is just maintaining that creative flow. Like sometimes you just really hit a wall, especially when the task that you're doing is just repetitive. It's just the same thing over and over again. How do you maintain like just even your sanity or creativity amidst all of this?
I can't really say because I find I'm mostly creative when it's near the deadline, when you're rushing
I can
things.
definitely, I can relate.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of my best work is when
Grace
it's
under
all
pressure.
rushed.
Rushed, yeah.
Because when you have a lot of time, you get to think more, and sometimes that's why you have to
You
undo-
overthink what you're
Yeah, this
typing.
is ugly, and you have to scratch it out. But
Oh my
when
God,
you're
I
in
thought
a
I was
rush,
alone in this.
yeah. 'Cause just like last weekend when Shamir asked me to do something, and then I just can't finish it, and I told him, can I finish it by Monday? And he asked me what's taking so long. I told him I don't like anything that I started, so I had to
Yeah.
scratch everything, and hopefully I'll get inspired. To
Yeah.
when I
But
get to-
what is your advice though for those who feel like they have already hit a wall, that because sometimes being stuck in a creative rut, it doesn't mean that you get stuck there for just like an hour or
Yeah.
2 hours. Sometimes it lasts for days.
Sometimes for some people months. That's
For-
why like
yeah.
they end up feeling like I can't do this
Exactly.
job anymore because it's just not clicking.
George R.R. Martin, I think, is the best example
Is-
for that. Like, that's why he takes so long writing
Yeah.
his books. But yeah, what is your advice? How do you overcome or at least navigate your way around that?
That's so hard to answer because sometimes it just comes to you
Yeah.
by surprise, and you don't. Like for example, I flew to Singapore, stayed there for 2 weeks because me and my friend were supposed to write songs that's like worth an album.
Oh.
But we ended up just writing one song.
Is that
Because
like
it never got inspired the whole time.
what's the
I was
context
there.
behind it? Like,
Yeah, are you in a band or
yeah,
something?
something?
No, we just write songs for fun.
Okay.
Yeah, but we got to sell a couple of songs to Viva, so that
Oh.
was maybe how it got started. But we wrote songs for fun. We never really wrote songs like to be heard or anything. It was just for fun.
Are these songs like full on like radio songs or more on jingles?
Radio, yeah,
Is
Spotify.
amazing.
do we know
Yeah, do we
song
know
that you
these
wrote?
songs?
Popular, they're in Bisaya, so they're not one.
Oh, we love Bisaya songs.
Yeah, we
And
support
then
local.
he says the title like, oh, we don't know the song.
I know, because they're not popular Bisaya songs like compared to like the ones that are popular now.
Oh, but can we find them on Spotify
yeah,
or?
you can.
Oh,
What's the
what are
title?
they? Promote that.
Drop.
Okay, I'll promote it. There's one song, Di Na Ko Madutlan by Clark Mantilla. That's
Okay,
on Spotify.
that artist is familiar to me. Okay,
He's a YouTuber.
okay. We'll check that
So
out.
that, for example, that song that just because I write the lyrics, my friend does the melody. It just comes to you. I never really planned on. Hey, let's sit down, write a song. So
Yeah.
it's so hard.
Definitely, I can relate to that because sometimes creativity just kind of is like a gush of wind.
Yeah.
That sounds so poetic, but that's really what it feels like. Sometimes it just hits you out of nowhere. Like you're just sitting, staring blankly at the wall, and then sometimes something just dawns on you, right?
Right. Yeah. Sam, you work with a totally different thing because like Pao and Ryan, they're more on like the marketing creative space, and you're dealing with technical things. And again, you can't really just like I'm gonna do my own thing with these like because it's very structured. You have to follow certain SOPs. So how do you not get tired of that? Really?
Actually, like, my or like, the day Okay, I'll give you a little bit background. Like, I started as a technical support, right? Now, when it comes to technical support, like everything is unpredicted. Why? Because you don't know what will blow up, which you are supposed to fix,
Right.
right?
Right.
Like, it's like I might be exaggerating it a little bit, like, but you are like in a military, like you don't know where the bullet will come.
Oh,
Right?
okay.
So you have to stay alert, everything. So yes, there is a structure when it comes to SOP or something, but when it comes to like daily routine, expect the unexpected, right? Some days can be very super intense, and there are some days which are just a regular day where we are it also helps, like since because we got some experience dealing with the type of issues that we handle or we fix, then some things are like easy, sometimes are challenging. Now going back a little bit to the thing which Pao mentioned about the creativity, like what if you hit the wall, right?
Yeah.
So for me, it actually happened in one of our I joined like local meditation ceremonies here in Cebu. So it came to me there was one kind of a discussion about like how do we improve our creativity, right? And then one of our teachers asked me like, Sam, where does the word creative come from? And I
Oh,
was like,
Great.
what?
wow.
Yeah,
Okay. I
so-
didn't know we were defining words
Right.
here.
so
I did
so-
not come prepared.
So, like if you want to be more creative, you have to create
Create.
more, right? So when you say like when you hit a roadblock
Yeah.
when it comes to creativity, then as Ryan mentioned, like take a pause, but then try to create something more in that same segment. Now, so that's why when people tell me that I feel stuck in this job, I gotta do something, but my solution to them is, why don't you do something different in the same job, right? So
Exactly.
when we started from Maria Cristina building in Fuente Circle,
Okay.
we had a very small team, right? But when people started engaging their innovative ideas, now instead of team of 30 people, we at Meditap we have more than morning and night shift combined, we have like more than 130 to 140 people. Now I would not say that we are doing the same thing which we did for from 2013 or 2014, but we diversified it, we improvised it. That okay, if there are client complaints, then okay, let's start a department who will handle that customer service portion. If there are people who are making mistake, then let's start a QC team. Okay, like let's say you already the thing which you mentioned a few minutes ago, that you want, like you are doing the same job over and over, but what if I utilize your same skill set and experience in something different?
Right.
Right.
So it's not the changing the company or changing the job, but I'll just utilize your skill set somewhere different.
Right. So it's like more of like a lateral
Yes.
move, right? Because
Yes.
I can actually relate to that, and I can actually back it up, because one of my what's with the face?
No, go. I support
of my-
this. I support this.
One of my ways or methods of sort of taking myself out in a rut is, say for example, I need to finish a blog today, and then I just couldn't. Nothing's just flowing in, but there is a pending flyer copy that I need to do as well. What I would do is just move laterally, like tackle the other task momentarily, and then that would give you a fresh perspective, a fresh approach, a fresh mind, and hopefully by the time that you're done with the other task, or by the time that you're stuck in the other task, when you get back to the task that you previously left behind, you can again approach it with a fresher perspective, a fresher mind. So yeah, I think that what you just said about moving or utilizing your skills and talent and experience somewhere else in the company is just scaling that concept up.
Yeah, and I
Right.
think it gives us space to create new teams, new roles,
Yeah.
and like real opportunities for growth But I want to know, Sam, because I think you're coming from a point of view of someone who is. I consider you as a decision maker, so I think you're able to kind of not easily, but you have more leeway in saying that, hey, why don't we try this? But for example, someone who is like maybe in the rank and file, who is feeling quite stuck and would want to make that change of like, I'm not really. It's not that I'm unhappy in this job. I just feel like I would want to try something new. How would you want that person, or what is the best way to ask your manager for that opportunity of like changing it up a bit? Because I think for like people who are in the rank and file or in the like, well, not really lower position, but like not decision makers, I think there is a bit of like hesitation to ask for things because we're so used to just dealing with what we have, and we're scared of like getting rejected and getting questioned of like, why are you even asking for this opportunity? So yeah, I just want to ask from a manager's perspective, like how would you want one of your team members to go about that?
Okay, so this is what I will share my personal story a bit over here, because I started as technical support. I still do a lot of technical support, but at least I think sometimes you have to pave your own way. Now, not bypassing your manager or something, but you start inserting suggestions in your meetings or something that, hey, let's say in some of the meetings, if they are discussing certain challenges, and we say why don't we do this, why don't we do this, and then proactive approach rather than saying that, okay.
Yeah, and that's why I like about the team that I'm working with is because we value like open communication and transparency of like, hey, you know what? I'm kind of not feeling this task right now. So is there something that I can do where I can actually just still contribute? But also, I think it's very important to express and be transparent like with your supervisor or your manager of like, this is what I want. Can you let me know how I can get there? Right. And I think that would reflect well, like if you have a good manager, they will help you out on how to get there and not reject you.
And speaking of good manager, I'd just like to give a shout out to Janine.
Shout out Janine. Yes. Shout out to Kim as well. Oh my God, I love my manager.
We are very lucky here in Miss Specialized. We have really good leaders.
Yeah.
And I'm not like,
this isn't the sell med specialized.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like
this is based on
their
experience.
Ego. Yeah.
This is based on experience. Janine, actually, when I started this podcast, Janine was kind of already noticing a little bit of symptoms of burnout in me. And she was very supportive of me joining this podcast because she thinks that it was like a good change of scenery for me.
Thank you,
and
Janine.
Thank you, Janine. Shout out to you. And speaking of change of scenery, I think we have been talking about like very serious grown-up corporate stuff. I think it's now time to
move into
the next segment and maybe inject a little bit of fun into this.
All right.
What do you call this?
A fish. The questions. Ping pong ball questions from the fish bowl. Right. But before we get into that, we'll take a short break.
Okay.
We'll be back and
stay tuned.
We'll go into the questions from the fish bowl. Thanks, guys. And we're back.
We are back indeed.
We're back for our segment. What is it called, Pao?
All right, I'm gonna try my best to mimic the way you say it.
You got this.
Ping.
Breaking
my voice.
Take two. All right. Let's pretend nothing happened.
Let's do this. Ping pong balls. Question from the fish bowl.
Yeah.
We should definitely think of a better name for this. It's
in season 2.
Yeah, on season 2.
That is the goal. So, guys, if you're interested to see where this fishbowl bowl takes us.
Anyway, I think Ryan will be the one.
Yes, if you
picking up the ball from the fish bowl.
From the fish bowl.
There is. Navigate your way around those Christmas ruffles. I don't know what they even call.
This reminds me of Thailand.
Oh, what is your Thailand story?
The ping pong story in Thailand. This is popular. This is a popular. This one, so
All right.
Okay,
Show me the
show
number.
the number.
And-
Number one.
Oh, I don't have the questions open, so I'm so sorry, Liz.
Okay.
Number
Okay,
one.
I got this. So question number 1. I believe we have not yet asked this before. We have not asked this ping pong ball question from the fish bowl before. So what are 3 things that you could buy at a grocery store that would make the cashier give you weird looks? Like a combination of 3 things. Like, totally up to you.
Okay, so who does the
Do we have brave souls?
Yeah.
Do you want I feel like
volunteers?
Ryan's just like, what am I doing here? What is this question? I thought this was an educational pod. Thought we were all
I've never gotten weird looks upon checkout.
yeah,
Yeah,
or
I
like
would
what
be
would
curious.
hypothetically
I once
if you could, yeah, it could be something that's already happened, or like if you could choose any 3 things that would definitely make the cashier give you a weird look, what would those things be that you would buy? What was that sentence?
several times before I tried looking for Parmesan cheese. They don't know what
Okay.
it is.
Okay.
And one time I asked for where the maple syrup is, and I was asked to go to the pharmacy.
Where? Okay. Can we?
maple syrup?
Where?
Which
Where?
store is this so that we can avoid
I know the now defunct Fuda. So
Oh,
that's
okay.
closest to where I live.
in Guadalupe?
Yeah, before when they were open. So
I see.
so it was a struggle to look for Parmesan cheese and yeah, that one time maple syrup because he thought it's in the pharmacy.
Maples. I see the sort of
You
the
really thought
confusion
cough
there
syrup?
because syrup,
cough syrup.
cough syrup. Okay, now I see.
Maple-
Understandable.
But other than that, I've never really gotten weird looks for anything that I bought. Like even if it's like lubricant or a condom.
Okay.
Am I allowed to
You
say
know
that?
what?
I think.
Yes, we are.
We are allowed to say
we
that.
got the go signal.
Okay, yeah. Hey, those are
You
like
know what?
normal items.
You know what? We're adults.
Adults.
And, promote getting educated
Yes.
about these things because,
Safe.
safe interaction.
Safe interaction with the
social
opposite.
distancing
Yeah.
and everything.
Exactly. I think we should move on to Sam's answer.
Sam, what about you? What do you think? If it's already happened, share to us a story, or if you could think of something that would, definitely get weird looks.
I mean, not. So there was one time this actually happened with me at supermarket. My basket was with all vegetables and stuff because I don't eat meat or limited dairy. So it was during the lockdown where we were all tasked to do the groceries for almost all office and stuff, and then so the basket which I picked was all vegetables mostly and stuff, and then the sales lady or the cashier really said like, "Walay Sudan." So it's like all veggies and only rice and stuff. So she was like, and then I was like, I think I got what she was trying to say, and I just said in her exact tone like, "Di makakaon meat, di makakaon karni," or something like that. And then I think she got it. I was like, vegetarian ka or something like that. So yeah, that was one of the experience when she cannot. Because the people ahead of me and behind me were all full of hams and fishes and chicken and stuff, but my basket was.
I'm just curious, Sam. Though, where do you shop for supplies? Like, because if personally, if you're a vegetarian, obviously you only buy plant-based foods, I guess. Where do you usually shop for those
For
supplies?
veggies?
Yeah, for veggies.
Yeah.
Like, do you go to Carbon?
Public market, that's like an abundance of vegetables. And then if I cannot go that far, then Ayala has mostly stuff, any grocery supermarket, and when it comes to lentils and spices, there's an Indian store in Mobolo. So
But it's definitely cheaper in Carbon, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Could you drop that Indian store's name? Because I
Yes,
would.
it's Mahesh, grocery. So, if I'm like endorsing it, so it's right across Barbecue Boss. If you are near Lenders, so there is Asi Mart Korean store, and then just few steps ahead, there is a Mahesh grocery store. So that's an Indian grocery store.
Interesting.
And there's one also in Ramos, next building to that Raintree Mall. So I don't know their name. Vinya Foods, yeah, that's another Indian grocery store.
Okay. So place Recos right
Yeah.
there.
I mean, if you want to cook Indian food,
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
right.
How about you, Liz? I'm curious though. Like, what do you think are the 3 things that you can buy in the grocery that would give you weird looks? Because I feel like you've already made up your mind on this one.
No, okay. It's not that I think it would I would get weird looks, but I feel weird checking out when I have like random things. Like, there are times where my mom would just give me like, for example, I'm out and then she tells me, "Oh, we're out of these things." So oftentimes I just buy like things that are really necessary. So there would be times like I could be buying pork belly, and then the other thing I'm buying is like Surf Surf like the laundry detergent, and then I could be buying toothpaste. So like if I check out those items, I'm definitely like,
They don't blend together.
yeah, I'm like, I'm normal. Like this isn't an everyday purchase for me. This is just like, this is what we need in the house now. My mom is gonna cook humba tomorrow.
Right.
But also we have to do laundry and I have to brush my teeth tonight. So it's just those type of things. It's nothing too crazy, but like if you look at it,
Yeah.
you're the like cashier checking it out, like, what are you doing?
What are you trying to
Like,
do with these items?
What is this? Are you trying to kill someone?
Yeah.
I'm normal,
I get
ma'am.
you.
It's fine. It's not that wild. It's not what you think. What about you, Pao? What do you think would get you weird looks?
I feel like this is a lot of men can relate to this. Hygiene,
Feminine hygiene products. So
yes.
have you tried purchasing?
Multiple times, yes.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if it's the cashier giving me weird looks or I'm the one who feel weird checking out these items. So I'm not entirely sure which is which.
I see. So,
But I feel like it needs to be normalized though, right? Because
yeah, I mean, why not?
exactly.
We all came out of mothers of
Right,
females,
exactly.
so it's okay.
But it's still, I don't know, like,
You still get weird looks when you buy.
again, I'm not sure if it's
Or do
them
you,
giving me weird looks or
you just assume that everyone's
yeah,
giving you
I'm
weird
just
looks?
assuming just because of the, I don't want to say stigma, but like, how do you even say it? Like,
But I feel
It's like a
like
norm.
yeah, just totally against the norm, right?
yeah. But I feel like it's very common for guys. Like
yeah.
like for girls, like for example, I'm out with like friends, and for example, at that moment, I'm just hanging out with a guy friend, and all of a sudden I'm like, bro, I need you to do this for me right now. I cannot go out there and line up
Yeah,
for,
yeah, yeah,
for
definitely.
this. So yeah, they'd be just like, yeah, sure, why not? So I think maybe it just really depends on like the background and
Right,
stuff
right.
like that. Yeah.
But it's not like I'm against that,
Oh,
right?
no,
Like,
no,
and
no,
I don't-
that's all we're saying.
it's not like I'm not gonna,
No, I will not buy.
I will not buy. It's
I
just
am
that
against this.
Yeah, it feels a little weird sometimes, especially if you're in a crowd, if you're in a supermarket where everyone's like can see what you're paying
But
for.
are you just buying that, or
There have been multiple times where we're on in the mall and then things happen and you have
yes,
to
I relate.
you have to do emergency purchases
Yeah.
and you go to either the nearest supermarket or the nearest
pharmacy. Yeah.
and then everyone can see what you're checking out, right?
Right. Okay. So, what other 2 things do you think would, like, if you're buying feminine products
Yeah.
and then you have, because it's 3 things, right?
Oh,
so, what do
yeah,
you think
3
would look
things.
weird?
Together with feminine products,
I don't know.
probably a shovel and a rope.
In the grocery store.
Like, what are you trying to do with this?
Oh my god. Okay. Great. I think we have time for
I don't know, yeah.
Sam
Do we have time?
to pick a question. Yeah, we got the okay
Okay,
from
we
our
got
lovely
the-
producers.
Should we pass the?
Yes.
I feel like
Okay.
Sam should
Mystery
pick
hand.
the-
Mystery hand. Do we
By the
have
way,
a-
that's Rexo, our
yes.
very
our,
talented
our
director.
director. Direct Rexo.
Right, let's
The
see.
Rexo.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Kind of.
Do you have the questions pulled up? You wanna?
Yeah. I do,
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
I'll read them.
Love it.
Number 7.
Number seven.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Had this been tackled
Yeah,
before?
I think
Do we-
we've. Do we want to repeat the
Is it
question, or
okay?
do we want to pick? Okay, we want to pick a new question.
Okay. Pick a question.
Okay. So next time in our next season, we will get rid of these balls.
Yes.
Yes. Our lovely brains should remember. Okay. Okay. Yes. Is it a?
Number 9 or
Number 9. Oh, that was my favorite question. I can
Okay.
clearly remember.
Okay, you know what? We've asked number 9 as well, so let's pretend that this is 6.
Okay, yeah. Very smart. So let's make that number 6.
Yeah, okay, so
All
wow, Sam, number 6. Ooh, new question. We
picked number 6?
We haven't
What a
asked
surprise.
this before. Pa, what is it?
Okay, so number 6 is so brushing your teeth or wiping your butt. You have to give up one. Which are you gonna give up?
Maybe we shouldn't have chosen number 6.
I
Do you
didn't.
want me to pick
I didn't read that in advance. I'm so sorry. I didn't read that in advance.
We
okay.
picked the right question. This is the best question yet.
Okay.
Okay.
So-
are we in the right mind space?
Okay.
to-
Would like to go first.
Okay, I would not give up brushing my teeth because for the other thing we can use bidet. You know.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Utilize technology, peeps.
Yes. I.
Right.
Right.
So yeah.
Very short and
But-
direct. Love
You
it.
know what? Sometimes not every.
But don't you need like? Because what I'm imagining
Okay.
is that you're gonna have to give up completely. One.
Right. So what if there's no bidet?
Yeah, like you're not gonna have to wipe your butt or.
I love this.
Oh my god! Did I make it worse?
No, I don't
Like
think so.
that's what I'm thinking. Like,
Eyeing
you're
the
gonna have to
producers. Did he
give
make
up
it
one
worse?
completely. Like you either just brush your teeth or not wipe your butt at all.
Okay. So
Yeah.
in that case would be wiping the butt is a must.
Necessary, essential.
In either way, whether you use water or use wipes or something, because like if you like brushing the teeth, like if you gonna just gargle stuff or like you're gonna eat something fresh, refreshing, minty stuff,
Yeah.
then it can be taken care of. But you have to feel good inside, and
Right,
so
right.
that's why. Okay, but
How about How about Ryan though? Like I'm curious.
I can't
You've been
give
so
up,
silent.
I can't give up brushing my teeth because when you have tooth decay, that's painful, and you can't have butt decay.
Is there such a thing?
Yeah, and,
Hashtag normalized butt decay.
and there's actually a way, a pro tip from someone who does a lot of butt stuff. You can take psyllium. It's a fiber supplement. We take it regularly. Your movements will become very kind of solid and clean that you don't even need
Yes.
cleaning it.
And just to clarify, butt stuff like wiping butt.
Wiping the
That's
butt.
what we meant.
Wiping the butt. Okay,
yes.
we're just making it clear.
Just making it clear.
Hygiene.
Hygiene.
Yeah.
Cleaning
Hygiene, guys.
yourself
Hygiene
up.
is so
Yeah,
important.
very
Okay,
important.
personal
Yeah.
hygiene is a reflection of your character.
Is it?
Just take psyllium supplement,
This is not an ad.
and it will all come out clean after.
It's not an ad, but it is good advice.
Liz, how about you?
I'm still trying to recover from what's
So
happening.
you don't want your mouth to smell like a butt. So
You know what? That's actually a funny way to put it. Yeah.
You know what? You know what? I thought I had an answer. And then now, I am perplexed.
You're doubting?
I don't know who I am. I need to find myself.
Do you want me to go first? So that I would actually agree with Sam. Like, I wouldn't give up wiping my butt because there are a lot of things that you can do to clean your mouth, like gargling, eating mint, and you can basically just scrape using toothpick or what do you even call this? Floss. right? If that's a better alternative, right? Whereas
Right.
if you give up wiping your butt, I don't think there are any other alternatives to cleaning up.
I mean, can you air dry?
Yeah, stay there for another 30 minutes.
I'm really so confused with this
like-
question. Because I'm
It's
like,
gonna buy a
gonna be
blower.
worse if you air dry. It will be even worse.
yeah, hand dryers will be no more. It will just be
Yeah,
butt
butt dryers.
And you can go to the dentist for cleaning.
Exactly. It may be
Right.
expensive, but I don't think there is a butt doctor. So
I mean,
is there?
we're not qualified.
We're not qualified to
we're not-
comment on medical.
We're not medical people.
Yes.
We are just one brain cell trying to function.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
what's another question?
Do you want another question?
Do we have time though? Because I feel like
I feel
Sam
like
is
we're
enjoying
having
this.
so much fun
Yeah.
with the questions. Yeah? Yeah, okay. This is the last
This-
episode. Let's switch it up a bit. Let's
Exactly.
get
This
crazy.
is the first time that we're actually
doing
doing 3 questions.
Okay,
Ooh.
let's go, Sam.
Let's go, Sam.
Number 3. Oh, okay. Do you wanna?
I think we already tackled this before.
Okay. Do you wanna answer this question, or do you want a totally brand new question?
And this time, let's try to test our wits and see how we can quickly answer the question
Yeah.
without just like an off the cuff answer.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think we can go with this, and then we'll just go with whoever or whatever comes up.
Cool.
So, question number 3 is: if you were to appoint a president of the internet, who would it be and why? It's like,
I mean, I would not give the authority to someone specific, as long as, because it's all about perspective, right? So when you give the power to just one person, and it can go anyway. But as long as, yes, the freedom of speech is protected, then I think that should be fair enough, because every opinion matters, right?
Totally
So
agree.
I'm not a fan of those like fact checkers who
Yeah.
like shadow banning or something. Every opinion matters. I think we saw a huge drama over the internet when it comes
Right,
to COVID and some other stuff. But
Right.
my point is, like, why not listen the other side as well? Like, it might not be mainstream, but what if there is a point or there is an opinion which really matters?
Yeah.
Right.
Those are the kind. So I think rather than giving the authority to one specific person, I think it should be more
Open for everyone.
open
Right.
and free speech. Yes. And people should use their own discernment to see what they see and listen on social media.
Cool.
I love that.
Love that
Sam is
answer.
so profound. And I love how we just switched it up from like brushing
The-
your teeth, wiping your butt.
That was
to
like a
being
stark
it-
transition.
Yeah, it is.
right?
Like, it's about your character, your
Yeah.
values as a person.
Definitely.
See, you got everything here in the podcast.
Right.
Swellos and
But why don't we try to speed things up and switch it up a little? Just give a top of mind answer, a name of who you think will be the best president. No background, no explainer.
Oh, president. President of the internet or
President of the internet.
okay.
Of the internet, right?
Okay. Right?
Look, me?
Yeah. Go ahead, Ryan.
Not Elon Musk.
Not Elon Musk. Okay.
Not Elon Musk.
Okay.
But I need to. I would probably. Maybe some like a drag queen, because drag queens are funny,
Yeah.
and they're into freedom of speech but not hate speech.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
You said, because I want to preserve freedom of speech as well.
Yeah, and they're very vibrant. And
Yeah,
the way that they carry themselves is so. They have whips.
Yes, they made their own language, just like the way like char grew here in
Yeah.
in the Philippines.
Oh.
Okay.
What about you, Paul? Do you want to answer that question?
No explanation. Trevor Noah.
Oh,
No explanation needed.
yun na.
Beautiful, beautiful. So
You?
yeah, I get. Oh my God, I was.
You're not gonna escape
I
this
was gonna
list.
swerve the question. Oh my God, I think at this point, Conan O'Brien, just for
Oh. Okay. Not bad.
yeah, no explanation needed.
No explanation
Yeah,
needed at
okay,
all.
that's great.
Yeah.
Or if
So
I have to name a name as well,
Yeah.
can I name?
Yeah.
myself?
Go.
Aubrey
Please do.
Marcus.
Who? Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Aubrey Marcus. So I'm not sure if you.
Aubrey.
Oh,
Let me actually look
yeah.
him up.
Let's
Aubrey.
everyone listening right now.
Aubrey Marcus.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
oh my
also
God.
one of the podcasters, and
Ooh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Matt Trackpad is not working. What is this?
He's a guy.
Aubrey.
Well, I would say he was definitely.
Oh, okay. Oh, his face looks familiar. Okay, we'll check him
He
out.
looks like
Yeah.
Dan Hardy. Am I referring to the Venom?
Yeah.
Hardy.
Okay.
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. Oh, but Dan Hardy is also a person. he is a martial artist.
Oh yeah, he's in the UFC. I remember.
Oh my god. Okay, before we get too sidetracked,
Yes.
I think we should wrap
Wrap
up
things up.
our episode for the day. I just want to say this has been really fun. I loved our
Super.
conversation. Honestly, if we could, we would be talking more. But I think that calls for a part 2 for
Ooh, that's actually that's it
returning guests.
for
Who?
season 2.
Yeah, for
Right.
season 2. So, yeah, thank you so much, Sam.
Thank you so
Ryan, thank you so much for sharing your time with us. I personally learned so many things,
many
prioritizing my task that I'm currently drowning in, making sure that, I'm still excited about the things that I do, even though
Definitely.
sometimes it can be repetitive. And, yeah, I just got reminded of the, trying to stay away from your phone for,
Yeah.
especially when you wake up, when you're hanging out with
Right,
people
right.
that you care about, because everyone's busy, everyone is sacrificing time to hang out, and you're just gonna be on your phone. So yeah, that's
I feel like that's also my biggest takeaway from this.
not being on your phone.
No, not like just. I think like a tangent of that, like enjoying your time alone for yourself. Because that really helps a lot with your mental health, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Cool.
So
And again,
thanks.
I would just also like to thank Sam and Ryan for
Yes.
joining us. It
Amazing,
has been so much fun. Really, really fun.
Yeah, so thank you guys, our listeners who have stayed with us until the end of this episode, until the end of the series.
Yes.
So yeah, we hope that through all of the random conversations, today's episode, the previous episodes, we hope you guys have learned something from us. You have takeaways, and we hope you come back when we come back for
for season
2. So
Right.
yeah, watch out for our future episodes. We're looking forward to creating more content. Oh my god, who am I?
A content creator now.
I'm
Okay.
a content creator.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for everyone who has been with us since episode 1 up until this point, and to all our guests who have shared the pod
To our previous guests.
with us. Definitely appreciate you guys' insights. This has been Pau. I'm gonna miss saying that, but I'm definitely looking forward for season 2. But this has been Pau.
You're making it sentimental. And this has been Elisa
Signing off.
off.